Good afternoon. My name is Shannon Sims, and today I'm going to do a short meditation with you. If you have never meditated before, this is a perfect place to start. We're going to go over, just some of the simple things about meditation that start to give you a little bit more clarity. So coming into a comfortable seated pose, and that's going to vary. If you're watching this in a chair and you want to do this meditation in a chair, just sit towards the center of the chair, sitting up a little bit, feet grounded in towards the ground. If you are sitting like I am, you can come into lotus. Lotus is where the legs come over the top. You can come into a half lotus. Maybe one leg is down and one leg is over the other thigh. Or my favorite pose is just one leg kind of in front of the other. Now I'm sitting up on a blanket, and I'm doing that so the hips don't have a lot of pressure. So the back has a little bit more extension and openness, and it also is allowing the knees to fold forward, so it's taking a lot of pressure off. You can sit up on several pillows, but you'll eventually start to find something that's really comforting to you. Now, I just want you to take a moment and maybe make a few final little fidgets and go into a quiet place. Now make sure that area that is around you doesn't have a lot of distractions. So even if you have to take your phone, you don't necessarily have to watch me, you just have to listen. But if you want to take your phone and take it into a closet or a guest bedroom or any place that you can find a little peace and solitude. I even do meditations in my car. So anywhere you are, just doing your meditation, but first and foremost is being comfortable, sitting upright a little bit. So this allows the energy in the entire spine and the chakras to open. And so when we're meditating, we're not just calming down our mind, but we're calming the energy in our whole body, and we're connecting the energy in the body. And the energy in the body goes from the root chakra all the way up to the crown chakra. And you have 7 chakras, and I will do a course or a lesson on the chakras, but I'm not going to go into all that now. So we'll keep it pretty simple today. So I just want you to come into, again, that comfortable seated pose. Start to close the eyes. Now, if you're an experienced meditator, eyes open is actually very common. But I find in a beginning practice that as I shut off one sense, I'm able to focus a little bit more awareness into the other senses. And the eyes are one of our gravitational pull senses. So the minute I see something, the other senses kind of kick on, so it's the leader of the pack. And I find when the eyes are closed that the other senses have a chance to take over. And so just start to listen. Draw some awareness to some of the subtle sounds around you. Maybe starting to hear your breath. We're going to do 3 nice deep cleansing breaths. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just doing 2 more on your own. Now I want you to picture that your body is like a boat. And it's a boat on the open water. And as the water moves, the boat moves, and it's hard to find stillness inside the boat. But if I drop a really heavy anchor, and that anchor goes all the way down to the base of the earth, and it roots into the dirt underneath the water, it's going to still the boat's ability to move around. Now, the boat will still rock a little. It's going to still move around a little because the water flutters around it. And sometimes that water becomes very still and the boat becomes still. But in the beginning, sometimes the water is pretty rocky. And the water is our thoughts. And you're going to notice that the thoughts move. And they rise and they fall. And they're going to go through your head in this pattern, in this fashion, until eventually the thoughts will subside. And it's like the water being still. Now your breath is your anchor. And you're going to notice the water is moving, and the boat might move a little bit. But I want you to focus on your breath. Breathing in through your nose. Breathing out through your nose. And what we're doing is we're just drawing awareness to how the mind works. Not necessarily to any of the direct thoughts. And so as the thoughts come in, let them wash out. As one wave comes up, another wave will follow it. It doesn't stay. And so let your thoughts have that same direction. But know that your boat is anchored. And just focusing on the steadiness of your breath. And if the thoughts come in and out, it's okay. Trying to stop the thoughts is like trying to stop the water in the ocean. It's not really possible for long periods of time. And so better to have a really strong anchor, kind of rooting you in place. And I find that sometimes if I'm not able to focus on just the action of the breath, you can say, this is me breathing in. This is me breathing out. This is my inhale. And this is my exhale. Maybe noticing areas where the breath seems more directed. Areas in the body that might feel expansive with that breath. And just coming back to the anchor of your breath. And with each breath, start to notice the subtle changes in the body. Maybe a stillness. Sometimes the body feels very still and the skin will have a pulsation or an agitation around it. And it's as though the body is reminding the energy around you to find stillness. And allow the thoughts to wander in and out, not criticizing your ability to stay grounded. Your anchor is there. You can come back to it at any thoughts happen. And know that they're going to happen like the ocean. They're going to wander in and out. But it's my attention to any one direct wave, any one direct thought that makes it more of a struggle for the thought to wander out. And you might notice that some of the thoughts might be the same thoughts wandering in and out, and that's okay. What we're starting to do is release our resistance. And by not giving attention or frustration to the pattern of my thinking, I can be more of an observer. And as you're observing the thoughts wandering in and out, see if you can focus more attention to your anchor, to your breath. Notice if the subtle energy outside your body, out the top of the skin, has changed. And starting to feel this peace, this tranquility wash over you. And this is just this mindful practice that the thoughts are happening all the time. It's only my attention to each individual thought that gives it a life. So not necessarily giving that thought a life. They happen as readily as the waves until you find a practice that eventually feels like your boat is in still water. Your anchor is firmly rooted, but knowing that it takes time. And being here where you are at this moment is right where you need to be. And so just feeling how your body feels. And maybe asking yourself, how do I feel today? Waiting for the body to answer, not necessarily the mind. Softening the jaw, the arms, the body. Any area you might feel any tension or tightness. And if it's comfortable, staying here for as long as you would like. And knowing that you can come back to this kind of a practice every day. That it is not, it has to be a long practice. It can be something that is as simple as sitting down for 2 minutes and anchoring yourself to your breath, giving your mind an opportunity to rest, not focusing on all the thoughts that are coming in and out. And so if you're ready, maybe starting to make little movements, drawing yourself and awareness back to the noises around you. Bring yourself to the other senses by maybe opening the eyes. And then just take a moment and notice through small movements how your body feels. Thank you so much for this practice today. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.